Are my sisters in the house? Are my sisters in the house? I stand before you to bring you word from some of the fiercest ancestors from the black tradition. I bring you word from Sister Ella Baker, who said, we who believe in freedom must never rest. I bring you word to remind us that it is good when the sisters and a few good men get together. That it is important for us, not just in the Women's March of 2019, that this year we bring an agenda with us. It's one thing to protest, and we need protest to remind the people with special titles that the everyday people of this country will not have our voices suppressed or depressed. We stand up. We bring the protest, not just to the White House or the halls of Congress. The State of the Union matters, but the state of the streets matter more. And what is happening in the state of the streets right now at this moment, we have almost 1 million of our sisters and brothers who are not receiving their paycheck because somebody decided to have a temper tantrum. The state of the streets says that folks with fancy titles ought to understand that folks need to eat every day, pay their mortgage every day, get their medicine every day, and live every day. And I submit to the folks who are blessed enough to walk the halls of Congress because we gave them the power through our vote that they all need to be in a room and never come out until the government reopens. The state of the streets says that it is immoral and unconscionable that in the United States of America that anyone would suffer by not having clean water, clean food, and clean air. Hello, Flint, Michigan. Hello, Toledo, Ohio. Hello, Ames, Iowa. Sisters, to you most importantly, we need more of the feminine spirit in this thing. And everybody that looks like us might not roll like us, but we need more of the feminine spirit. And the feminine spirit stands up for humanity in a badass way. Can I get an amen? Sisters, we're not going to play around with this. Things are hard. Folks are suffering. But I believe in a transcendence that is greater than any one man. I believe in a transcendence that's bigger than any one moment. And if you don't believe me, I want you to think about the history of revolution in this country. And this is what this is about, revolution, baby. We are not going to build on the old. We are going to build on the new. This is about revolution. And as we as a nation wrap our minds around the fact that there are far too many people with titles who don't give a damn about the people, if we wrap our minds around the fact that titles are good, they get your phone calls returned. They get you in the room. Titles are good, but purpose is better. And we need more purpose-driven people. And that is why the citizen leaders of this nation, women and a few good men like you who are here today, we are the voice of consciousness. But we can't just talk about it, sisters. We got to be about it. And that's 365, 7 days a week. That is how we rolling. Now, I forgot to introduce myself. I got so hyped up on what I was going to say. My name is Nina Turner. I hail from the great state of Ohio. And I am the president of our revolution. I bring you word from crying mamas. I bring you word from families who are suffering every single day just to make ends meet. I bring you word, sisters, that the feminine spirit is what is needed for humanity. And that spirit is about truth. That spirit is about justice. That spirit is about uplift. So we must protest, but sisters, we must also plan. And the Women's March has an agenda in 2019 of justice for all. I bring you word as somebody who understands what it means to suffer. I bring you word that I wasn't born with a fancy title. I bring you word that those of us who can relate to the everyday struggle of the everyday people of this nation must unite regardless of our ethnicity, our gender, our sexual orientation, our religion or no religion. We stand together. Whether you are black or brown or white or yellow or red or the swirl in between, baby, we are together. I bring you word that this is a race about perseverance. That this is not, to quote the Christian Bible, the race is not given to the swift or to the strong, but to she or he who endures to the end. This is an endurance race. Because the fight for justice is about endurance. And it is our time at this moment to do what we can, where we are, with what we have right now. So I bring you my final word from one of my sheroes from history. Well, a couple of them, because I want you to think as I wrap this thing up about the power of one. See, Rosa Parks understood the power of one. When she channeled an entire movement in Montgomery to boycott a bus system that discriminated against chocolate folks, I bring you word, the power of one. When Fannie Lou Hamer stood up to not only Democrats of her time, but a system that was rotten to the core that would not allow black folks to register to vote in the South, the power of one. And I bring you word from one of our modern day warrior women by the name of Bree Newsom, who did what no politician could do. When she climbed that pole to tear down that symbol of bigotry and hate, the power of one. The power of one. And to my sisters, I just want you to know that when we move, the whole world shakes. When fierce women move, the whole world shakes. Because our mission is so high, we can't get over it. And our mission is so low, we can't get under it. And our mission is so wide, we cannot get around it. The power of one. So as I wrap this thing up as a preacher and a politician, from the Black Church Street tradition. I bring you word from Sister Harriet Tubman. And I want you to wrap your mind around this, because this is deep. And I want my sisters out there, no matter what you identify culturally or ethnically or sexually, I want you to understand that I am an angry ass black woman. And we taking applications, baby. You can be an angry black woman too. Because if you are not mad as hell about a system that suffocates the life out of everyday people, if you are not mad as hell that it is rigged socially, politically, economically, if you are not mad as hell that some folks in this country go to sleep at night with no food, no gas, no light, no clean water, if you are not mad as hell that our teachers in LA have to strike, if you are not mad as hell about injustice, then something is wrong with you. Oh no, I am an angry black woman. So I bring my final word, sisters. And I do hope we leave this place more energized to do the work. Because it's good that the family has come together, but what are we going to do for the causes of justice in our communities when we leave here? That is what the Women's March is all about. We have an agenda. We have an agenda. And we must plan our work and work our plan. But in the words of Sister Harriet Tubman, who sacrificed everything that she had, she could have just been very comfortable about her own freedom, but she was convicted in her heart. And she heard the call of God to go back and not only save her relatives, but she saved some other folks' relatives. What are you going to do to save somebody else? And she went back time and time again to save folks and never lost one passenger. What are you going to do for the cause? And not only was she the ultimate conductor on the Underground Railroad, she was a spy for the Union Army in a way that only a black woman could spy for freedom, for justice. What are we going to do for the cause? And nobody is asking you in this time to lay down your life, but we have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's what the Women's March is all about. So I want you to take Sister Harriet Tubman's words with you, and she said these words: if you hear the dogs barking, keep going. If you see the torches in the woods, keep going. If they're shouting after you, don't ever stop, keep going. And if you want a taste of freedom, keep going. In the 21st century, Women's March, if you want health care for all, we will. If you want a system that believes that women should have their whole damn dollar, we will. And if you believe that black women should have their agency of voice without being torn down and talked about, we will. And if you believe that equality and justice really is for everybody and not just somebody, we must. And if you believe that we must change a system of injustice in this country, we must. And if you believe that every child, regardless of their parents' zip code, deserves a high quality education, we must. And if you believe in freedom and bless you.